Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. For this casual Wednesday video, side note, have you noticed I post every Wednesday and Saturday? Follow-up question, do you care? I thought we would hang out here as we do in my bed and talk about something random for a lengthy amount of time unnecessarily. I don't know where this video idea came from, which ties into this video topic in general. I have random ideas for videos and then I just do them, and sometimes I don't finish them. I thought it would be fun, at least for me, to look back on some of the things that I wanted to do. Ideas I still think are maybe cool, but I'm not gonna do. Usually I like these casual videos to be low-key and have no editing, but I have a feeling I'm gonna take it too far and I'm gonna I'm gonna splice in parts of me filming these videos that I never posted. This isn't like a rapid fire list type video. It's more just let's talk about the behind the scenes of BookTube. Videos I canceled. That's what this is. We'll talk about why I thought it was a good idea, why it wasn't. So let's begin with, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so one of the longest running video plans that I currently have in my head but never come to fruition is a video where I read book award nominees. After attempting to make this video happen on 3 or 4 different occasions, I'm going to be reading the 5 books on the Man Booker Prize shortlist, which is going to be announced in about a week. So it's like a week later, and I requested all the books from my library, and I just went back to check to see like what number like in line I am, and I only just now noticed that 6 of the books aren't even in stock. They're on order. 4 of the books on my list do not come out in Canada until 2019. And even if I try to order them from Book Depository, that would take like a month to get to me anyway. So this isn't going well. I can't tell you the last time I was declined for an arc on NetGalley. Like, the world is against me in this video. And that one's not out either. So let's email the publisher. What if I can't get it? Like, do I have to cancel this whole video? I finally landed on one that worked with the Goodreads Choice Awards, but in my mind, that was intended to be something bigger, an actual, like, critically chosen award. The reason I could never make those videos work was the timeline in which I wanted to read them. Now, something I anticipate people saying with all of these examples, because I've heard it before and I do appreciate it so much, and it's the comment that says like, I would watch anything you post. Like, it doesn't have to be edited, it doesn't have to be this, it doesn't have to be grand. I would watch everything and anything. And while that's so kind of you, I think that you probably enjoy my content because I enjoy my content. I genuinely enjoy making videos. I enjoy the video at the end of it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't post it. If these videos cannot be what I want them to be, then I don't want to complete them and post them. So with this award, like, I think it was the Man Booker that I filmed pretty deeply into before actually reading any of the titles. I filmed all of the early clips, the introduction stuff, the finding out the results. I did a lot of prep work and I filmed a lot to make that video happen. And then I discovered, and this has happened a couple times since as well, that with book awards, some of the books haven't been released yet. There's so many books from different countries, and it proved very difficult to acquire all of the books in the period in which I wanted to read them. I'm sure I've seen Man Booker videos out there where they take, like, after the prize has been announced, like, they read the nominees, and it's like a whole series, and it's great. For me, and the way that I wanted to make that video, I wanted it to be timely. I didn't want to take months. And I actually didn't want to wait until after the awards happened. I wanted it to be nominees announced, read all the books, and then I choose like who I would win. And then we can all find out the winner later, which worked great for the Goodreads Awards. But for an actual literary award, it didn't work the way that I wanted it to, so I just scrapped the entire thing. And I know that the video idea is still fine, and it still could have been fun, and I still could have found books I love, blah, 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 but the way I conceptualized it in my head is not the way that it could have been completed, and it didn't interest me enough. The books didn't interest me enough. It was the concept that interested me enough for the video. Anyway, I'll go ahead and link some people who I actually really enjoyed their Man Booker content. I really like Savage Reads when he talks about the Man Booker stuff. I really like Memento Mori. I don't know if anyone's done a challenge video like the one I'm talking about for the Man Booker. Okay, the next video that I abandoned, I need to mention next because it led to a bunch of other video ideas. And this one is the complete opposite of the last one, which was like, hey, let me be more smart and literary and make like more, I don't know, mature content. This is the opposite of that. This one I actually put into the notes of my phone because I was falling asleep one night, had a video idea, typed it in. It literally says, clickbaiting booktube for a month. So sometimes I do reading challenges. Sometimes I just do challenges, like when my husband took over my Instagram, or finding out the word of the day from dictionary.com for a month. Those were fun. This video concept was essentially in 1 month, I am going to do every highly requested video ever. The most viewed, most requested, most popular and viral bookish videos, and making them so extreme and clickbaity, and just seeing like what I could do with my channel if given a month of like the most attention grabbing clickbaity stuff. Still an interesting video idea. I think the reason I gave up on this was because I know that there would have been a subsect of people who took it the wrong way. And not even just upon posting that finale video, but throughout the month, if I clickbaited as hard as I wanted to, I think I would have gotten some negative reactions from people. So this one was like simple stuff like doing a bookshelf tour. I did do a bookshelf tour a couple months later. The video idea came from wanting to be the clickbaitiest, like most popular, like I just wanted to see like how much growth I think that I could attain in a month. The only reason I did that bookshelf tour finally after 4 years of being on BookTube, my first ever bookshelf tour, was because I was gonna make it for that video. Another video that ended up being posted that was birthed from that clickbait video was the Booktubers Control My TBR. That's the one where I watched YouTuber recommendations and then I titled it, Can We Really Trust BookTube? I still ended up posting that video. I actually filmed that video once before with all different recommendation videos from Booktubers. So I'm basically basing my TBR around Booktuber recommendations, but I'm going to pitch it as something like, can we really trust Booktubers? And I just never posted it. So when I was doing it the second time, the video that you've actually seen, I had to choose all new videos, and it was actually a lot more of a struggle than you even know. Not interested in any of those books. Why have I read all of these books? No. Maybe this isn't gonna work at all. This video concept's going down the drain. Oh, another video. Okay, so those two videos I actually posted from the list of the most clickbaitiest things that I could do. But actually those two videos, like, it worked. Those two videos are the most viewed videos on my channel. So I really should have done that video, is what I'm saying. One video I didn't do that was on that list was, what was the idea? Essentially, it was reading the last book in a highly popular series and then just reviewing that last book with having no knowledge of the start of the series. I thought it would be fun because I would look stupid, which I love. People would be mad, which I love. And it would have gotten clicks because, like, imagine, I can't even think of an example because I didn't plan the video, but like whatever a Sarah J Maas series is, or Cassandra Clare. Okay, imagine, I can't even name a Cassandra Clare. City of Heavenly Fire. Is that the last one? I have no idea. Imagine I read that and just react to it having no prior knowledge, any relationships, any magic system, and just reacting and reviewing. I could still do that, but it sounded quite arduous to actually complete a novel that I had no interest in, and I probably would have been confused for the majority of the reading experience. That video idea actually stemmed from one that I wanted to do with TV series like a super long time ago. What did I watch? I watched the last episode of a super popular TV show. It was one that my husband was watching, and I just watched the finale with him, and the whole time I was like, who's this person? What's happening? I don't understand. And I thought it would be a really funny video. Ooh, the next one, a video that I have abandoned, but I filmed the entirety of before the actual reading process because I realized I hate this video structure. I did this video years ago called Buying the First Books That Instagram Recommends to Me. It was taken from like the lifestyle or beauty community where they go on Instagram and they buy like fashion and makeup from the ads that they see. So I took that video idea and I did it for books on my Bookstagram, scrolling through Instagram. And the thing about BookTube is there's so much involved with running a BookTube channel as opposed to, I feel like, so many other communities on YouTube. There's so much more involved for us to make content, to have content, than just filming and posting. A beauty guru can essentially sit down and they have a pile of makeup, or they bought makeup from these ads and they just get to try it. And the try is the video, and then they can just post the video. With BookTube, we have to be reading in order to have content for the most part. So it's not just committing an afternoon to a video, it's committing an entire week or an entire month to one challenge video, which is why I'm assuming not many other people are doing this because a lot of it doesn't feel worth the time. So what I attempted to do for that video was just react to the synopsis of each book. And instead of reading it, because most of my challenge videos, I film my reaction to finding out my TBR, how I'm choosing my TBR, and then I film the process of reading those titles, and then there's a conclusion, and then there's the video. For this one, I wanted it to just be a quick thing that I just reacted to all of these titles. Do I want to read them? Make that decision, not actually complete them, and that's the video. I hated it. And this is where you could never accuse me of only doing things for like the clicks or the views or the money or whatever the hell, because that is, I think, the second most viewed video on my entire channel, and I will never do it again. And I have many ways that I could do it. I could do the first 5 books that Goodreads recommends to me. I could do the first 5 books I see on Twitter, on YouTube. There's so many opportunities to do it, and I did plan for it to be an entire series, but if I'm not reading the books, I don't like the concept. And the thing with those videos and choosing the 5 books just on a total whim and having absolutely no control, it's too much of a waste of time for me to justify. But doing it in the way that I was doing it felt wasteful because I just ended up returning some of them that I didn't read. And it still felt like a waste of time because basically I was just buying the 5 books and then reading the synopsis, which I could have done without having the book in my hands, and then just telling you which one I might read in the future. And it still just ended up on my TBR shelf for 3 years. And you'll probably say, like, well, here's how you could do this video. Here's how you could make it happen. I am a completionist, and I just don't personally like the structure of a video where I don't read them all. Because you're thinking like, okay, just don't buy them then. Just like read the synopsis from Goodreads. But that's not an interesting video to me. You know why? Because there are no stakes. I could sit here and read 50 Goodreads synopsis to you. Like, that's just not, there's no stakes to it. I want the physical book staring me in the face. I want it to be a hands-on experience. I want it to be dynamic. I want there to be lots of different clips and lots of things thrown in there. The way that I've kind of done it, so I do read all the books, is I retain some semblance of control. Like, I've done Booktubers recommend, and I choose the booktuber who I'm watching the video from, and the way I did it is they mention a certain book and then recommend a book based on that book. So I have to have already liked this book in order to read this one. So don't worry if you do like that video concept. I have done things kind of similar to it. I do have plans kind of in the future, just not as random as the first 5 books that I see, which is fine because that's not really a trend anymore. I like to take current lifestyle, beauty, video trends and flip it to be bookish. Look out for my Saturday video because that one is a big thing in the lifestyle community right now that I am stealing. Next is kind of just a group of videos that I have filmed and never posted, and they are assorted reaction videos. I definitely hear you, and I know that you enjoy my reaction videos. I appreciate it so much, and therefore I've tried to film, I think, 3 other reaction videos, reacting to my old videos, reacting to other videos, reacting to reviews. That's a whole other thing. And then by the end of it, my reactions aren't interesting enough, funny, or if I'm reacting to an old tag, the idea is to update the tag and talk about like how my feelings have changed. And obviously I don't know going into filming a reaction what my reaction is going to be. That's the whole point, is I don't know what I said in that video, so let's watch it together and react. So sometimes I just have to scrap an entire video because I got to the end of filming it and I was like, nothing, I didn't gain anything from this. You're not going to gain anything from it. It wasn't funny. It wasn't dramatic. And I'm sure because you're very kind people, again, you'll say just post it anyway. But most of the time I know by the last question if it's a good enough video, and I probably don't even do an outro and I just turn off the camera because I'm like, okay, I'm an hour into filming this and I know that editing it isn't going to be fun and the final product isn't going to be worth my time. I've already put time into it, like let's just end it now before it goes too far. Another video that I've been trying to do for like 3 years, I think I've seen one other person do this, Alex. I'll put him down below so you can watch his challenge videos for himself. He chooses a secret TBR like I do sometimes. And he did the one that I've been trying to do, which is BuzzFeed quizzes are going to decide my TBR for this week. I don't want to admit how much footage I have because I have to take the footage and then I have to take screen recordings on my phone of me taking the quiz. And basically I've done it where I just do BuzzFeed. I've done it where I do quizzes from like 5 different websites and try to curate a TBR based on these quizzes that are like, find your new summer read, and you choose like books you've liked in the past, or you choose like pictures you like, you choose personality traits, and it answers you at the end of the quiz with a book that you should read. Pick a hot meal. These all have meat. Pick something to make things a little cozier. Oh God. What is your ideal fall activity? Finding yourself. Wow. Pick a bean. Pick a number. What are these quizzes? Pick your favorite cherry blossom. They're all the same. What's your go-to summer accessory? Prescription drugs. A poodle skirt. Synthetic snacks. Unemployment. This girl shouldn't be allowed to make quizzes. Which is a good video idea. Honestly, like that's a fun way to choose a TBR. And if there's any video concept from this video that I'm talking about that I've given up on that I think I might return to in the future, like this is the one. It's just honestly, I end up filming for 2 hours and I'm exhausted by the end. I really want to keep going until I find something that's on my TBR shelf, but I'm realizing the likelihood of that is pretty low. And the books that have been chosen for me, usually like 90% of them aren't ones that I have ever heard of. All Our Names by Dina Mengestu. It's about a heartbroken 30-year-old Ruth who returns home to care for her father who has Alzheimer's. How did any of my answers lead to that? A lot of times I end the quiz and it's a book I've already read. I should read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And I'm just like, oh, I just wasted 20 minutes of my time. My memory card is full. My phone is hot because I've been screen recording. And I just kind of give up by the end of it. And then putting in the commitment of like a week or 2 or 3 of reading all these books when I have so many other things that I actively want to read. It just all starts to snowball and I just throw the video away. Because there are some times when I have an idea, even if I really like it through to the end, that I sit there and I think, what is the point of this video? If it's solely for content, I don't know that it's worth it sometimes. So those videos you don't see. You see the videos that I'm genuinely excited about filming, excited about the books, or excited to... Sometimes there is times when I want to read a bunch of books that I don't think I'll like, just because it's an interesting process for me to question my own opinions. But I have to be in the really right mood and mindset to do those, and sometimes I think that I am and then I just scrap it. Speaking about reacting to reviews, one of my most highly requested videos as of late, because I know this is going around on BookTube, I think who was it, Murphy? Oh my gosh, Murphy's video was so good. She just posted it a couple days ago, doing just this, which is reacting to reviews for either your least favorite books, reading like 5-star reviews for your least favorite books, or reading 1-star reviews of your favorite books. This one is requested a lot more because people love negativity. I think the majority of booktubers, if they do make negative content, you will notice that that's the most popular videos on their channel. Scathing reviews and spilling the tea and 10 books I would never read and 5 books I DNF'd and unhauls. Like, that's the type of content that gets the most views. That's definitely true on my channel. And there's definitely 100% nothing wrong with negative content at all. I enjoy making negative content. Sometimes it's fun. But I think that, again, I have to be in the right mood for it. Right now in my life, I just don't feel like making those types of videos. I would rather spend my time thinking about books I like than books that I don't. Just like in my least favorite books of the year video, I still do those videos because people ask for them, but I always disclaim at the beginning that like I'm not gonna have well-formed thoughts and opinions. This isn't gonna be a truly in-depth negative review because I don't like to spend my time these days thinking about books that I don't like. I read them, I give them 1 star, and then I just try to forget about them because I'd rather focus on other things. But I tried. It's so embarrassing because if I am splicing footage into this, you're probably about to see me in a terrible mood. Gansey, whose main conflict, as I mentioned, is that he's rich and being rich sucks. That's what you got from that? Okay. But the book wants me to empathize with him. Does it? This person's at 500 pages of a bunch of classist, pretentious assholes drinking and smoking and talking about how superior they are for studying ancient Greek. Yeah, that's the intent of the book. I just hate this review and I don't even want to read it. See, this person listed a bunch of good things about the book and still gave it 1 star. That's so confusing. Well, you know, thousands of people liked it, so. This book wants so bad to be considered original and insightful. How do you know? Skip it and read Looking for Alaska. Wrong. You're wrong. What I could not forgive is how the author tries to get us to empathize with the bitch of the heroine because she's a woman. How dare an author create a multi-layered character? Words cannot express how I feel about this book. But then there's 500 more words. I don't really remember filming that video, but I remember shutting it off halfway through and not completing it. And that's another example of looking at a video objectively and saying, I'm trying to figure out what the intent of this video is, and it's not to just be angry and like argue with people. I guess it's just to make me sad. Am I gaining something from it, or is it just for content? Again, nothing wrong with creating a video for content. Like, this is content. duh. But if I'm spending so much time and also putting myself in a bad mood, I really need to think about the purpose of it. For me, reading 1-star reviews of my favorite books, I wasn't doing it in order for my mind to be changed. Reading those negative reviews, it was just an acknowledgement of like, yeah, we have different feelings and different preferences. And I think I said that over and over again in that video that it just got so repetitive. I definitely get when people are annoyed by Adam's character development and the time that he's given in the book. So I can respect it. This book has a million subplots. I don't disagree. See, and that's the reason I liked the book, is because there's so many different things happening. I totally get, because if you read a certain type of fantasy and then you read this, it's confusing. It doesn't have like the rules that you necessarily want or are used to. But for me and my taste, like the magic system or whatever in here is like absolutely perfect. The person talking about my favorite books and saying how much they hated it, I was just acknowledging like, yeah, this book isn't for everyone. We all have different tastes. That thing that you don't like, it didn't bother me, or I like that thing. And while opening yourself up to other opinions is always super positive, I wasn't looking for my mind to be changed, and my mind was never changed by somebody hating a book, regardless of how valid their opinion is. And then I wasn't looking to change that person's mind. And as I was filming, I was thinking more and more about, though I'm not bashing this person or telling them to feel differently, by reading someone's opinion and then actively disagreeing with it, it seems like I think that they're wrong and I think that they should change their mind. And even though that's not how I felt, that's how it came across. And I don't think there was any way to really get around that. I've said before, like, I'm not a nice person. I come across mean and sarcastic and snotty, and especially with a video concept that is inherently negative already, like, I just seem like I'm a really negative person, and I don't want to feel like that, and I don't want to edit myself feeling like that, and I don't want to post that for you necessarily to consume. So that's why I gave up on that video. Also, 3 hours of footage, because I think that the reaction portion of challenge videos are my favorite part personally. I really wanted to include actually reading the reviews, like on camera for the first time. I didn't want to have an already curated list of reviews and then read them to you. I wanted it to be a genuine real-time reaction. So finding the reviews and scrolling and reading, and it just got to be an aggressive amount of time, and I felt combative, and I don't like feeling that way. And I hope I'm not coming across that way in this video, because technically this is a negative video too. Like, videos of mine that sucked so bad I didn't post them. That's not what this actually is. Like, I don't need you, I don't know, feeling bad for me or telling me that all my content is great or whatever, or not to be so hard on myself. I'm not hard on myself. I don't watch videos and be like, oh my god, I didn't do a good enough job. I could never post this. It's more just like, I objectively see that this ain't a good one and let's move on. Sometimes though, the views. Ooh, I wish I got the views from some of these videos. I think there's a couple other videos on this list that didn't get completed because of the negative factor as well. There's a few videos I've done. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, unpopular opinions. So I did one that was the lowest rated books, but that I loved, and I was talking positively about these books. And the opposite has been requested quite a few times, where I look at the highest rated books on my shelf that I've read and that I hated. And while that's a fun video concept, my honest reaction to all of them would be, I get why people like this. I understand why everyone loves this book. It has literary merit. It has nostalgia. It's fun, whatever. I just have really specific reading tastes, and I didn't like that thing that it did. And on the flip side, if it's the sun setting. If it's an objectively bad book that's really problematic, I don't currently like feel like being that person that's calling out books. I'd rather boost other more relevant maybe voices who are talking about books that have harmed them or could harm a group of people. And there are already so many people out there talking about things, having great discussions, making valid points, that I don't need to be that person. And sometimes I'm just not looking for my comment section to, not that you can't leave negative comments, like I'm not saying that, but when putting out such strong opinions, you're asking for a mixed reaction from people, and sometimes I can take it and sometimes I can't. And not in the way that it hurts my feelings and that your comment like makes me angry. It's just that I don't want to be the one who's making somebody bothered enough that they have to comment something mean. I don't want to be the one who's putting you in a bad mood or who's talking shit about your favorite thing. But I have been that person in the past. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'll probably do it again in the future. I'm just saying. Okay, what else is on this list? Oh, you know what? Going off of the reacting to quizzes and having quizzes choose my TBR, I had 2 hours of footage again the other day that was finding out my Enneagram. I've so badly wanted to do some type of video. This is one that I still like would like to do, so if you steal it, like whatever, just don't come for me later when I actually do complete this video and say that you thought it first, because we'll fight. I don't know why I said that. I want to read a selection of books that are based on my personality or things that are meant to represent. So the idea started with taking the Enneagram quiz and finding out my Enneagram, and then finding a book that fit with that Enneagram. So firstly, I took 8 quizzes to find out my number. I think of myself as confident and direct. True. I'm an assertive speaker. Yeah. I long for which I don't have yet. No. I'm a non-judgmental and accepting person. Sometimes. Wrong. You're wrong. So I'm mostly type 2. This didn't really tell me about me. It told me how other people should deal with me. Wait, this one says there's 9 types. I'm lost. They all came back with different numbers. I didn't take the official Enneagram quiz because it cost money. But then by the time I'd done all these quizzes and I still didn't have an answer, and that was only supposed to be one of 5 things that I did. I also was going to talk about maybe my horoscope and reading a book with an Aries character, books that would be good for an Aries. But when you search like books for Enneagram type 8, which is what I think I am, side note, books don't get recommended like that. It just gives you a list of books about finding out your Enneagram. And then I was gonna like search books with an Aries main character, a book with OCD representation, a book with pansexual representation. There are a lot of things that my personality are, you know, like I'm a mom, or I love hockey, or like there's so many different things that I could feel represented in a book. And that video didn't come to fruition because of the lengthy quiz taking process that I found so boring. I have watched somebody in a podcast scenario taking the Enneagram quiz, and I found it the dullest thing I've ever seen, and I didn't know a way to edit it in a way that would be interesting. And then there was the angle of like, there are a lot of people who genuinely need representation in publishing, and regardless of my intent behind it, coming at the video as like a white suburban mom talking about representation in any way, like there's something weird to me about that. So that's why that video didn't happen, but I might end up making it like a reading vlog in some way. So those are all videos that I have actually started filming, like I had some investment in. And then I have a few more. Actually, some of them are in the notes on my phone because I'll just type something out that makes no sense and hope that Later, I know what I was talking about. Videos that I've never even attempted that I gave up on before actually thinking about them any deeper. This one says, BookTube Hot Take. The series in which I lose all my friends. I don't even know what that was. I think it was intended to be commentary on BookTube, but like, how do you do that as a booktuber? Next video that I haven't even attempted, but I wish that I could. This is like at the top of the list of videos I would love to do, but it's just not realistic for me, and I hope other people do it. And it's the buying the thing that the person in front of me bought. These videos are all over YouTube in every single community. The idea is that I would go to a bookstore. I don't know, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. Spy on the people in front of you in line, see what books they bought, and then go buy it yourself. I could ask the person working what book they just bought before me, or I could tell them ahead of time, like, hey, keep track of the next 5 books people buy because then I'm gonna buy them. But again, it fits into that category of reading books that I have absolutely no control or potential interest in. It feels like a little bit of a waste of time, and if I'm not actually completing all of the books, then I don't want to do it. Also, I can go into a situation with all the intent to be good at public vlogging, and I will never be good at public vlogging. Not because I'm embarrassed, not because I don't know why else you wouldn't want to vlog in public. It's sheerly like, I don't want to be bothering other people. And if I'm not actually vlogging the process of doing it, again, it's not the video concept that I want it to be. And then another video that I've been requested to do a lot and I haven't done is, I guess what people are calling an anti-haul, which has been explained to me as a video in which you discuss books that you don't want to read. But that's it. Those are the video concepts that maybe I've started filming or never filmed, and why. They could definitely work. They've probably worked for lots of other people. I love that challenge type stuff especially is getting more popular, because that's the content I like watching. I make the content that I would watch, that I want from BookTube. Anyway, I will see you later on Saturday, and I love you a lot as a friend. Bye.